Hey guys, I want to do my top 5 scary movies of all time. This is going to be a little tricky because I have some in here that have been series and had sequels, so we're going to give it a go based on overall. Number 5, and probably one of my all-time favorites, has to be in the list, is going to be A Nightmare on Elm Street. As a kid growing up, Nightmare on Elm Street was ferocious because it keyed in on one key thing. You had to go to sleep. And Freddy Krueger was the perfect villain because he had to wait for you to go to bed, which is obviously a day-to-day occurrence. Everybody goes to sleep. So you absolutely had nightmares, no question about it, growing up, watching this series and watching this movie. So Nightmare on Elm Street has to be on the list. Check out any one of them. They're all phenomenal. They all scare the shit out of you in plain English. So Nightmare on Elm Street definitely falls on my top 5. No matter where you put it, it's always scary. Number 4, and probably one of the dark horses of the list, but still absolutely has to be here, is the Blair Witch Project. If you had the opportunity in the last 10 or 15 years to check out the Blair Witch Project, it was a lightning rod because it was the beginning of the ease of handy cams and the ease of recording and the ease of capturing. And Blair Witch did a great job of promoting and portraying something that was real, even though it really wasn't real. It was all marketing, and it was marketing genius, and they did a phenomenal job promoting the movie. And it was made on a shoestring budget, and it scared the shit out of everybody when you went in the movie theater. And there's probably not a scarier movie in a dark movie theater than the Blair Witch Project the first time you saw it. Number 3, and probably one of the more overlooked movies as time goes on, is The Shining. If you haven't had the opportunity to check out The Shining, and it's a little bit older movie, it shows a little bit of my age, you have to check it out. It has twists, turns. Now, I know that it's one of those movies that, has been shunned a little bit by Stephen King because it wasn't representative of his book and the actual layout of what he envisioned The Shining to be. But I think the acting and I think the portrayal make up for so many misses inside the book that you can't help but watch it. And The Shining, just the music, the tone, everything about it just leaves you on the edge of your seat. It's one of those you can watch in the TV and be scared shitless. Number 2, and probably the most important one, and one that's affected me for a long time, and I go back to it a lot, is The Exorcist. Probably the all-time scariest individual movie because it invokes religion, and it invokes so many things that a lot of us grew up with. Being a Catholic, being a Christian, it invokes so many different passion plays inside your brain and makes you struggle to kind of grasp onto the everything that you grew up with and question it, and just it really hits home. So The Exorcist is one of those all-time greats. You just can't help but be scared shitless when you watch this movie, and it makes you really look at religion and look at the effects of your belief system and kind of how that plays out on a movie screen in every way, shape, and form. And the acting's lights out inside the movie. Linda Blair kills it. And number 1, and probably the most modern of all of them, and definitely will scare the crap out of you, is any one of the Saw series of movies. And the reason I put Saw in here, and a lot of people are probably saying, well, which one, is because it makes you envision being tortured. And there's probably no better torture movie than Saw. And it makes you question what you would do all throughout the movie, every step of the way. It's a huge what would you do series of movies, but Saw the original did an awesome job putting people in that position of questioning and worrying about what you would do in a scenario. And you can watch this 10 times and come up with 10 different scenarios of what you would do and how you would question your life and the moves that you make and the things that you do. So the Saw series is absolutely a lights out movie, and it'll scare the shit out of you in terms of your thought process. So I hope you guys like all these choices, and I hope you guys like everything that you see. Please subscribe. Please like. I'm going to keep coming out with these top 5s because I love doing them, and I love giving you guys some insight into what I like.